I am Colin Birchall from Smart Technologies, and a huge welcome to smart partners everywhere, and welcome to another edition of That's a Smart Idea. The 1 minute video, which, come on guys, it never lasts a minute. You've been watching these for 3.5 years now. You know the score when you watch this. It's where we here at Smart help you, our smart reseller community, sell more smart business products into your customers and add value to your smart business proposition. So today, I am very pleased to say that I've been joined by Sean Stevens from HP Poly at Data in Australia. Hi, Sean. How are you?
Hey, good, Colin. Thanks for having me on.
No, it's an absolute pleasure, Sean. And for people who have not come across you, just give me a quick idea of what your role is at HP Poly and Data.
Yeah, thanks, Colin. So my role at Data is the HP Poly Business Development Manager. So I take care of all of our partners from SMB right up to the high-end enterprise, from technical right into end-user demos, putting bombs together, anything that needs to be done. We're here to get that happening with our customers.
Yeah, anything to get those deals over the line. That's the important. Yeah. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
And you guys, because you work with Data. Sorry, I say data, you say data. That's gonna be.
We've been close.
But you guys are essentially you're HP Poly, but you're also smart distributors over in Australia. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. So Data, we're the largest AV IT distributor in Australia and New Zealand. So we cover hundreds of vendors, but we've been growing massively in the AV space, the display, the UC collaboration space, I guess is probably the more contemporary name for this area of the market that we're in now. The last kind of 6-7 years, but we're number one in Poly and in Smart in the Australian market.
That's great. Thank you for that, Sean. So, Sean, let's set the stage. What does 2026 enterprise collaboration look like to you?
So 2026 enterprise collaboration, I think we're coming to a lot of the second and third rounds of rollouts for a lot of our enterprise customers, whereas pre-COVID, when we were in the Skype for Business phase or in the old school SIP and H232 area where rooms used to cost upwards of $100,000 and you'd have a very special room and that would be your room you reserve for video conferencing. Jumping into COVID, we're here in Australia where we did a lot of hybrid. It was actually a massive uptick in, like, the whole industry exploded in COVID, where everyone was thinking, oh, is it going to go really quiet because everyone's going home? But actually it exploded and everyone was just going out and grabbing whatever they could get their hands on, throwing it in their meeting rooms, crossing their fingers, hoping it was going to work. So now that first round's done, a lot of our customers are coming around, our end customers and our partners have done a lot of education. They've been through the journey of what the wrong kind of meeting room experience is. So now they're getting to that new round I'm talking about, where they're informed, they know what they want, they know what they can get away without having, but they know that they want a baseline of a consistent experience across every meeting space, from that focus room, one-on-one setup, all the way up to the large town halls and bespoke spaces. So I think standards are what we're going to see in 2026, informed standards.
You know, it's important to talk about end users. And I know that Smart offers we offer the best sort of interactive collaboration inking experience. And I know that the heritage of HP Poly, the fact that you've come from that, you had Polycom, you had the HP, you had the Plantronics. They offer the best user experience. So I'm fascinated to know, what's the end user reaction when they see Smart and HP Poly in action?
Yeah. Well, I think the most recent experience I've had, where we had a lot of partners and end customers in the same space with both of our solutions on display together, is the look and feel. So I think especially with the MX line, Integrate Expo, we had a lot of industry people. So whether they were end customers, partners, consultants, builders, whoever they were, they're coming in, they're going, wow, that actually looks pretty schmick. You've got the MX line with the white chassis, and you've got the Poly X series bars with some white notes in it as well. So it looked really good together. And yeah, it's pretty seamless, right? It looks like a functional kind of enterprise solution. It doesn't look like two completely different products are being thrown together. There's a lot of synergy in the design and feel of it.
And that's important because aesthetics are important to end users, especially in the enterprise market. So that sort of leads me to the next question. How is Data approaching the hybrid challenge across Australia at the moment?
So the hybrid challenge is different for every customer organization, depending on where they are, what market segment they're in. But I think the value that we add is that we have expertise in any portfolio in any kind of space that you're looking at. So whether it's personal end user compute, collaboration, display, whatever it may be. But the hybrid journey, I think a lot of customers are keen to know what other customers are doing, what other organizations are doing. Well, hey, what's your guys' approach? Us being in the distribution layer, we hear everything from everyone, coming down from vendors at the top, from consultants, it's from the side, and then our partners and then customers. Everything kind of flows through. So I guess our value add is our kind of knowledge there. We say, oh, hey, we've seen this happening here. We might recommend this solution for you guys there. Or you're trying this, let's just slot this little thing in here and see how that goes for you. Or come to our showroom, see what we're doing here, and have a look and feel of it, because seeing really is believing.
So I guess what you're saying essentially is we're actually are we moving away from that standard meeting room design? You're finding it's more a bespoke type thing that you're doing with your customers.
There's different personas. So depending on the organization, there's your executives, there's your customer facing staff, your back of house staff, marketing, there's IT, there's all these different people that have different roles and responsibilities. So some users might not even need to have a meeting. Some people might be completely remote at home, with their nice home setup, with a couple of headsets, a couple of monitors, different things happening. But the people that are in the office, they have a job to do. And as much as you and I love tech and think it's really cool, and I've probably liking it too much, when I walk into a meeting room, I check it out probably too much. But people out there, they have a job to do, and they just need something a space to do a meeting, to have a call, and they need to be able to know that they can walk in and it's going to work.
Yeah.
So they need to have consistency, reliability. Yeah. And I guess what I'm saying there is essentially standards for your standard kind of types of meeting rooms, your small, medium, large, similar to where I am, where you have table, chairs, displays at the front, and get conferencing. But then you do have those bespoke spaces too, where you will need to have extra cameras, displays, interactive displays, handheld microphones, lapels, different things like that. So I think the hybrid kind of message is people have expectations now. It's not like, oh, we need to do some research and I'll make sure that room we booked actually has some VC or a display in it for our meeting in half an hour. People expect when they walk into a room, they can be seen, they can be heard, they can do their meeting, and they can leave, and the next person can come in straight away and not have to prep or plug anything in.
I get what the stuff you're talking about there. That's where you're really adding value to your partners, your resellers, because you've got that knowledge and experience that you can bring to the table. So you add in, it's like a value add essentially. So which is really great to hear, because I know when obviously with Smart and with HP Poly and different the customers are relying on us, really. They're relying on our knowledge. So that's really important. Thinking about our resellers now in 2026, what advice would you give our partners out there who are looking to grow their enterprise business?
So I think it definitely comes back to adding value again, because this collaboration space that we're in now, if I get again compared back to COVID and pre-COVID, that 2020-21 period, there are only a handful of vendors in our space, in the collaboration space. Nowadays, there's 10, 15, 20 vendors out there trying to flood the market with products, not solutions. So I think our partners, again, in their space, it's just as competitive, if not more competitive for partners as it is for vendors now, because there's even more partners out there trying to move boxes rather than create solutions and partnerships with customers. So I think especially in the enterprise, but SMB all the way up to the enterprise space, if you're just trying to drop a box to sell a product without consulting with the customer. Hey, what are your needs? What do your spaces look like? What are your personas? What are your standard day-to-day tasks that your employees are doing, and they need, like, you need to identify the gaps and create a solution for them that can solve a problem for the customer and increase efficiency. That's essentially, in a nutshell, what our roles are, is to help people do things. I think as for partners, you need to you need to have a point of difference, which is solving problems and adding value to your customers.
And I guess that leads me quite nicely on to my next question, really, about Dicker Darcy. And this is really for our Australian viewers, really. What, obviously, your HP Poly in there, obviously work with Smart in there as well, but what does Dicker Darcy bring to the table in terms of support for partners in Australia right now?
One of the major differences that we've had at Dicker Data, and that as in the global stage puts us as an outlier, is that we're not just traditional box dropping. We have a warehouse somewhere. You talk to someone in a portal, you place an order, and the box arrives in a couple of days. Is that we have lots of specialists across all the categories. So myself for Poly, we have print specialists, end-use compute specialists, networking, server storage, personal devices, voice, telecom, software, like across the entire technology space, that can come out with our partners, come into the showroom, go and see end customers, add the value, do some training, do some marketing, create some graphic design, make some one-pages, become an extension of our partners into their business to help them grow their business, to help them succeed with their customers. So I see it as a very shoulder to shoulder. If you win, we win, like everyone wins.
And finally, Sean, what does success look like for your team by the end of FY26?
So for all the people in management out there, it's all growth, numbers. But honestly, we're all on a journey together, especially with our partners. So it's starting here at the end of 2025 and finishing here end of 2026 with our partners. So what I mean by that is, again, we're not just box dropping. We're educating our partners, we're upskilling them, we're growing them, we're making them not just specialists in one special space or just a provider in one special space. We want them to be workplace technologists or workplace specialists, leaders across the workplace, right? So not just the Poly piece, but also the Smart piece, the collaboration piece. And then in our side, well, the one HP component as well. It's not just, you might be a print partner, or you might be a PC partner, or a peripherals partner, or a Poly partner. You might start here, but we want to be able to grow you out here to help your customers be the one-stop shop yourselves. Like we are at the distribution level, we want you as a partner to be the same for your customers. I think that's what success looks like there is.
That's great, Sean. And thank you for sharing so much today. It's been really insightful. And I would say, not just for partners in Australia, but I would say partners globally. The partnerships that we have with HP Poly in terms of how our products work together and how they look and they feel, and how they serve the end user. That's a really important message to get across, because it's like we were saying before. Sometimes people try to do that one thing fits all, but people do. It's by asking those questions and understanding what the customer's core needs are. That's where you're going to get to. It's like you said, it's not about a drop box. It's about understanding the customer's needs. I think what you've said today about how you work with customers, with end users and your resellers in Australia is really, really encouraging to hear. So thank you so much for your time. I'd like to say a big thank you to Sean for joining us today. So thank you so much for joining us today, Sean. I'd also like to say a big thank you to our Smart partners around the globe. Your continued support and efforts do not go unnoticed. We're not number one without your support and help. So thank you so much for your support so far this year. So I'd like to say to all our partners, keep on selling Smart and HP Poly. Keep on trying new things, because that's a smart idea. Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Don. See ya.
See ya.